I'll show a quick clip from the dinner. So this was so successful that it wound up being a bit of a tradition over the course of the campaign to do these dinners. So we took a little bit of footage from the first one and cut it into a promo for one of the later ones. And so this is a clip from the dinner and a promo, but the subject that they were talking about was Obama searching for himself on YouTube. So I'll hit play now.
I went on YouTube once. I had no real problems just to see what was being sort of generated under my name. Some of them were pretty creative. You know, there's some cartoon and your ears are all weird. It's easy getting in the public eye like that. And Michelle always jokes about this. You know, she says, "Yeah, you know, I see this guy on TV, Barack Obama. He seems like a really interesting guy, but he doesn't always match up with the guy who's sitting next to me on the couch, or snoring in bed."
So this was, again, useful across, we were most successful with the fundraising or with organizing when we tried to layer all of them together. And so this was useful, this campaign was useful for, the meta message of the campaign of, we get our money from these different places, we're doing it in a different way. But also the actual message of the campaign, because we were able to take people who, whether they were one of the ones who were selected or some of the stories that we published, on specific issues that we were running on in different places and send them to local media. So say, hey, local newspaper in Pelahatchie, Mississippi, this person from your town wrote in because they donated to this campaign, and they wrote about their issues with, with Medicare, or whatever the particular issue we had in mind for that state. So it was both the sort of meta message, the actual substantive issue message, also raised us a bunch of money, and then for organizing, it was great, and our field organizers were most excited about this when it would come around, because it lowered the barrier to entry for people to express a higher level of support. So the 30,000 people who gave to this first one, 4 of them got to go to dinner. The other 29,996 got calls from the local field organizer where they were and said, hey, you want to come do this, in the moment, sort of right after they had donated. And so it was something that created a list of hot leads out of the larger list of people on our email list or people coming to our website that were plugged directly into our field organization, and that was an opportunity to begin the relationship with local leaders that our field people appreciated. So what's next? The team at the White House now is led by my deputy from the campaign, and is a great friend named Macon Phillips. He's in there with a team of people, a mix of people from the campaign, from government who were there before, and people from the private sector, from places like Google and different agencies and whatnot, to figure out how to apply these principles of transparency and authenticity and the right kind of participation into government. And that means both, not just the White House and what the president's doing, but also how do you apply that to the CDC or the Department of Education or the State Department, and not just participation by people here, but participation abroad. And you see this a little bit in the president, the speech in Cairo or the YouTube video he made for the people of Iran, figuring out how to apply these principles to the act of governing. Those of us who didn't go into the government are using these principles to continue both with the campaign organization, which has a successor. So it turns out after the election, by building a relationship that wasn't really about a candidate and wasn't really about an election, the relationship continues after the campaign. And so there's a successor entity. Obama for America is now Organizing for America. And so if you're on the email list, you're continuing to get emails, and the vast majority of people are still doing stuff, and it's really wonderful. But more than that, it's the larger sort of cultural and civic moment that the campaign has helped create is causing a lot of people to want to take a leadership role in the organizations and affiliations that they feel a part of, but also causing a lot of organizations to re-examine how they think about the people that they're dealing with. And so people are beginning to look at their weekly meeting about, what's the newsletter that we send out, and say, well, is anybody actually reading the newsletter? And what are the people who were cramming this newsletter down their throat? What might they actually be interested in? And how can we have a respectful and authentic and two-way conversation with them? And so these principles are being put to use to transform everything from unions to nonprofits to charities and films and publications and all the things that I mentioned at the beginning. So it's a pretty incredible moment to be doing this stuff, but I hope that the kinds of things has got this sort of minds jogging. I see some people nodding and some people taking notes. So hopefully this is useful in terms of how you think about whether you're a particular publisher or a particular person in charge of marketing, how you're thinking about the people that you're dealing with. So thanks very much, and if you have any questions or anything, you can email me, or I can take some questions now. But thank you.